België weer wat plaatsen op de FIFA-ranglijst. Het duurt tot de 70ste minuut voor de Duivels uitzicht krijgen op een schamel gelijkspel.
Bilde klimt goed. Gilles de Bilde. 1-1. Dat is zijn eerste doelpunt dus voor de Rode Duivels.
Welcome to Eurosport News. My name is Carlton Kirby, a host of Euro qualifiers played this evening. Of course, a place at England, 96 up for grabs. Well, Slovakia playing here in the blue up against Romania. And what a night it's turned out to be so far. This game completed and action-packed from the outset. Played in Košice. And the Slovakian keeper Molnar troubled early on as the 18th minute. Hadji denied. Well, Romania, of course, made an excellent account of themselves in USA. The World Cup there, reaching the quarter-final stage. Davos will have felt he could have done better. Popescu failing to tidy up as well. Just 26 minutes gone at this point. And really, the game looked like it belonged to Romania. Slovakia certainly slow on the uptake. Romania showing most of the initiative. Beautiful through ball from Martineau. Molnar once again earning his wages. Well, Romania had such bad luck up until this point. We thought the deadlock wasn't going to be broken. Into the second half. And it was the same old story. One-way traffic from the Romanians. Hadji striking the goalpost. 3 minutes in. Lakatush once again failing to find that killer kick. Well, it was to come. Petrescu with the cross. Lakatush with the header. And Hadji with the opening goal after 67 minutes. Well, a win in this Group 1 match guarantees Romania the place as group winners. Same group, of course, as France. French nerves beginning to fray. Until this moment, things looking a little better for them. Slovakia, the only team that could really deny France, so a good result against Slovakia by Romania was always going to be important for the French. And indeed, 10 minutes from time, there it is, Martineau, it was that made it 2-0 to the Romanians and virtually ended Slovakian hopes of a place in England 96. Celebrations still going on, I can tell you. Romania taking it 2-0. Well, Azerbaijan drawing 0-0 with Poland, and there tonight's important fixture, of course, France up against Israel. It's virtually impossible for France not to qualify for England 96 because of tonight's results. Slovakia, Romania. Romania there as group winners. And, of course, there is plenty of action.
Northern Ireland beat Austria 5-3 at Windsor Park in Belfast. 2 goals apiece from Michael O'Neill and Barry Hunter, and 1 from Ian Dowie. At the same time, the Republic lost 3-0 against the group winners Portugal in Lisbon. So they finish just a point ahead of Austria, but because of their record in Group 6, they...
Noisy and vociferous as they were at the start of the match, the Portuguese support. Whereas the Republic are in full voice. What a contrast in the 2 sets of supporters at the moment for a game that's still goalless. Paulino Santos. Domingos. This is Fio, who's popped up on both flanks. And he's got McGrath out of the middle. Rui Costa gets it back again. And Bab's clearance, but there's nobody to get it to as the whistle goes to end the first half. Goalless after 45 minutes here in Lisbon. And from the Republic's point of view, that is more than satisfactory. A half of few chances, really. Just the one moment when the Republic defence did look as though it was beginning to creak. But at half-time, the job so far is well done. The incentive for the Republic now must surely be to try and win this game in the second half and thus win the group and qualify for the European Championship as a right and avoid the possibility and the risk of having to take part in a playoff match, which will befall two of the teams who finish in second place in the groups. Certainly Portugal did nothing in the first 45 minutes to really cause Ireland any great concern. And it's just offside against Niall Quinn. Either side has made a substitution at half-time. And the Republic supporters have been in boisterous and noisy celebration. Costa just trying to nick it over the top. Bab read it, but it'll be another corner, will it? No, just this side of the post. Secretario goes for a long-range shot, and he had to watch it in the air. Well, it's really the first thing that has tested Alan Kelly. It was a long-range shot by the fullback Secretario, but on a night like this, with a very slippy ball, you've got to watch it all the way, and it would have dipped under the crossbar. It was a good stop, a good save. As news comes through on the terraces, and you can hear the buzz from the Republic supporters that the North are now leading 3-0. It's wide. Dennis Irwin. Staunton still well forward. Nice touch by Staunton. And here's Secretario. Spotted Paulino Santos wide. Fio. That was a tackle by Quinn from the back, and if this is a yellow card, and it is, that will mean that Niall Quinn would not be able to play for the Republic in the playoff game if that's the way it turns out to be. It's his second yellow card of the campaign. Although seen in slow motion, he did appear to make contact with the ball before the player. But that's 2 cautions for Quinn. He's not available for a playoff in December. And there are 1 or 2 others in the Republic side have got to be careful as well. Paul McGrath's one of them. Shot from long range. Again, Kelly had to touch it over. Paulino Santos, the left back. And that was aimed for the top corner, and he was on its way in. Look how far out he is. Well, Alan Kelly, currently playing his football with Sheffield United in Division 1, has saved the Republic twice in this second half. Trying to make room for the shots. He beats it out. And suddenly, Alan Kelly is the busiest man on the field. Remember, the key to what happens in this group is now going to be that match in Belfast. That's a good ball. Pinto. Oh, it's a great chip. Oh, it's in! Rui Costa. And for once, Alan Kelly couldn't touch it over. He'd done it twice previously. But with 15 minutes gone in the second half, Portugal get the goal that in all truth they've threatened since half-time. And how well it was placed. Maybe for once Alan Kelly was just half a yard off his line, because when he saw that in the air, he couldn't quite get back to get the fingertips to it and touch it over. just that inch of a gap which Portugal have exploited, and they lead by 1-0. Kelly went full length, but it was always going well wide. In fact, the referee decides he must have got his fingertips on it. Portugal looking for their second, it's in off the defender. And Portugal celebrate their second goal by Helder. But how was he allowed to win the ball in the air as cleanly as that? For once, the Republic's defence didn't deal with the ball, and the header had beaten Kelly and in off the shins of the defender, which was Dennis Irwin. 2-0 to Portugal. Here's Cadet, and Theo in, and Kelly's lost it. Oh, saved on the line, and Kelly was rescued by his defender. I think it was Alan Kernahan, denying Portugal their third goal, which Theo must have felt he was certain to score. Kelly had it and lost it in these atrocious conditions, and as the goal yawned, it was Kernahan who got back just to stretch out a boot. Oh, great strike! Wonderful shot. But what a good save. And John Aldridge so close to that 20th goal, and that's the first time really that they forced Bahia to show what he can do. Theo goes around Irwin. That's Bab in front of him. Rui Costa. Now there's room for a cross. Kelly's clearance. Planted back off the post. Well, they're close to three. Paulino Santos trying to steer it just inside the foot of the post. Kelly's half clearance. In fact, Kelly got a touch on it again. Oh, surely now. That's the third. It's 3 to Portugal, and it's the substitute, George Cadet, who's got the third. Again, there was a slightly fortunate rebound off the shins of the defender, and then the shot by Santos fell kindly for the 16. One or two questions about offside. Bab's got his arm up. Dennis Irwin. Here's Babwell forward. Aldridge. Quinn. Well, if they get anything here, the Republic, it will just be a token, really. We're deep in stoppage time. And it looks as though there's just the one more hurdle for the Republic to cross. A playoff in December, which could put them into the European Championship, and they so desperately want to do that. So many of the team who play in the Premier Division and in the Ensley League. That was a half-decent chance, wasn't it? And who can deny John Aldridge if he just gets to his feet a little bit wearily, because he's run around for 90 minutes, he's seen very little of the ball, but he's always presented himself as a willing target. And jumping there on tired legs. There's the whistle. Portugal win the group. They're into the European Championship, and so too will the Republic be if they can climb that one more hurdle. The North doing them a huge favour in Belfast tonight, leading 5-3 against Austria at the last count, and that confirms the Republic in second place in the group. And that will almost certainly mean they're one of the two teams which have to play again for that one remaining place in England next summer.
Hunter. Dowie's claimed it. That's a dangerous ball too. Hughes is there. Oh, and he
just fell behind Gray. Northern Ireland so unlucky. Weisinger. Holster turning into trouble. This is Gray. It's tripped by the Austrian skipper. Worthington with a free kick. Came off the head of Dowie as far as Lennon. Nicely played into Hughes. Dowie. O'Neill. Oh, they really deserved that goal. Scored by Michael O'Neill. At the end of half an hour of excellent football from Northern Ireland. A goal which will be cheered as heartily in Dublin as it is in Belfast. Hughes stepped away from Pfeifenberger because he wasn't there. Just a little too long for Gray. A little too short for Gillespie. Marisek got between them. Sweeping stuff. Lomas. One back by O'Neill. Now Hughes. Played on to Dowie. Oh, he was held there. Penalty. Pfeifenberger pulled him back. 32 minutes played. Dowie will try to finish off what he won. Bang! It's Northern Ireland 2, Austria 0. Brian Hamilton's team are doing their bit for Jack Charles' team. Stover's gone back with him. That's the best of back passes for Consul. And Austria are not enjoying this at all. The weather gets worse. Northern Ireland seem to get better. Gillespie, look at that! Wait by Consul and in! It's Barry Hunter! It's 3-0 to Northern Ireland. The first international goal for the young defender from Wrexham. Weisinger. Every tackle sharp and decisive. Worthington setting the example. Weisinger's cross. Pushed away by Lomas, on by Gray. This is Dowie. We have Hughes free to his left, he's still going. Oh, he's having his shirt held clearly there by Kogler. Weisinger for Austria. Polster has pulled wide. Captain's done well here, there's a good chance. Well, they've got to go back. Made by Tony Polster. Finished pretty emphatically by Marcus Schopp. Lomas with the throw. Dowie's done really well again. Gillespie bursting onto the scene. Gray's waiting. Oh, and Kogler almost played himself into a cul-de-sac. Hughes with the corner. Dowie waiting, Consul did what he could, Hunter, he scored again! Gray on the line is claiming the goal. Barry Hunter, number 4, knocked it back in there. And Phil Gray got the final touch. And Northern Ireland lead by 4 goals to 1. Well, O'Neill played the ball. Penalised. Weisinger. Polster. Tony Polster. Deflected, good start. Stumpf. It's 4-2. The substitute, Christian Stumpf, on his international debut, has got to go back. Fettis did about as well as he could with Polster's shot, and it ran rather unkindly for him into the path of the Rapid Vienna striker Stumpf. actually. A little bit disappointed, the whole City goalkeeper. Vettel. Sturger. Kogler. Vettel's cross. Shop. Now Marasek. Poster couldn't reach it. Fetis's punch a little hesitant, but got the job done. Now Michael Hughes. Nothing much ahead of him. O'Neill trying to get him in support. And here is Michael O'Neill. What a break this is. O'Neill. Oh, a tremendous goal. They really have played some scintillating stuff on a wretched night and lead by 5 goals to 2. Michael O'Neill's second. And I can't believe that Northern Ireland have played this well for a long, long time. What a great break. And Michael O'Neill of Hibernian giving it the finish it deserved. Leifenberger. Holster into the path of Vettel, and now it's 5-3. Well, Austria doing their darndest to stay in touch. A goal from their substitute Arnold Vettel surely won't be enough to rob Northern Ireland of a momentous and richly deserved victory. That's it. It's a good night for Dublin, but it's a great night for Northern Ireland here in Belfast. They won't go to the European Championship finals themselves, but they played with so much promise tonight to make sure that Austria don't. 5-3 winners. And Ryan Hamilton is building something for the future.
Raining rain and raining goals. And just to sum up the group, Portugal qualify as winners. The Republic of Ireland finished second ahead of Northern Ireland because of a superior head-to-head record between those countries. The Republic now face Holland in that playoff at Anfield next month, the winners filling the final qualification place for Euro 96.
Welcome to Eurosport News. My name's Carlton Kirby. What a night! Bidding for a place in England 96. And one of the finest matches on the evening. France up against Israel. The nightmare tie as far as the French were concerned. Remember, those qualification games up to USA 94, Israel. A huge thorn in France's side, effectively ending their World Cup hopes. Well, Ronnie Rosenthal going very close indeed. And indeed, Lama saving France on more than one occasion. Perhaps the best chance of the game for the Israelis. France in Group 1. Before tonight, they needed a win to be sure. Other results had made the game almost academic. Nonetheless, the French were gunning for absolutely everything, and the relief and delight there for all to see. Djorkaeff shooting through the defence, getting a deflection off the defender, Sheila. 68th minute it was. France were in the lead. Well, if there was anything lucky about that particular goal, the one that sealed the match was a fine one indeed. Lizarazu in the 89th. 2-0. The delight on all the faces, and I can tell you it's still there amongst all our colleagues here in Paris. They're relieved. Well, earlier in the evening, Slovakia up against Romania. Romania, well, a win would have taken them to the top of the group as group winners, I should say. They were already up there, of course, ahead of the French. And 2 goals separating Slovakians and the Romanians in their traditional yellow. Hadji it was in the 67th, gave Romania the lead. They'd had the best of the match. And indeed, perhaps the thin crowd. An indication of what the fans knew. That was that Slovakia were going to be on a loser. They certainly were. Montenegro, 10 minutes from time. Romania 2, Slovakia 0. Romania topping Group 1. And indeed, as we will throughout this programme, we can have a look at how the group finally ended up. And there it is, confirmation of tonight's results atop for you. Azerbaijan and Poland drawing 0-0. Standings then, Romania go through at the top of this group. France in second place. All the rest will not make it. Cyprus drew 1 apiece with Belgium. Denmark seeing off Armenia 3-1, and Spain thrashing Macedonia 3-0. Spain, of course, had already qualified, one of the first to do so, finishing on 26 points at the top of this group. Denmark going to England, of course, in second place. Well into Group 3, Switzerland, of course, involved in a friendly. They'd already qualified for England 96 and were up against England tonight and won that match 3-1. Sweden here in their traditional gold and blue, up against Turkey. Well, Turkey were bidding for their first major finals since 1954. Still not through to England. Other results playing their part. Alex Andersson in the 25th minute giving Sweden the lead in the second half. Turkey drawing level. Secure it was after 63. That was 1-1. Well, Turkey very handy, of course, in the league. They're a powerful nation, a very proud one too of their footballing heritage which they've developed. And indeed, up against the Swedes, it was regarded as a stern test for them. Pedersen, 2-1. Well, English clubs know that Turkish teams never give up. It goes for the club sides, it goes for the national team as well. Sagalam in the 72nd minute, levelling it at 2 apiece. And this was to be enough to put Turkey into England 96, their first major tournament since the World Cup way back in 1954. They're regarded as one of those nations just bubbling under success, and they could well feature strongly in England 96. So there, the night's only game we've just seen, and the standing. Switzerland already qualified. Turkey join them now. England 96. It really is a most cosmopolitan lineup for next year. And a look at Group 4, Italy beating Lithuania 4-0, booking their berth. Slovenia losing out at home to Croatia. Croatia topping the standings in Group 4. They really have been outstanding in the qualifiers and one of the dark horses, so to speak, for England 96. Well, in Group 5, what a group this was. The Netherlands up against Norway. Norway topping this group before the night. But I can tell you, Norway are not going to the European Championships. Well, something of a stroke of luck for Seedorf. Sent over the Norwegian keeper. He didn't really know too much about it, as you saw. That was in the 42nd minute. Netherlands 1-0 up. They needed a win here so desperately. No other result would do for Holland. Yuri Mulder, 2-0, 2 minutes from time. 49,000 turning out in Rotterdam. Look at that. Nothing but orange in the stands. He kept cool, didn't he? Well, it wasn't all over as the celebrations were going on. Just a minute later, a night was sealed. Overmars going past 3 defenders, a cracking goal. Now, if Holland do actually make it to England 96, because I can tell you, they're in the playoffs. One playoff, of course. They could be tipped for the top. So this is how Group 5 looks. The Czech Republic beating Luxembourg 3-0. Czechia go through. Poor old Norway were top before tonight. They finished third, they're out of it. But the poor record so far for the Netherlands means that they must have one more game, an eliminator. Welcome back. Group 6, very tight indeed. Portugal in the red and green islands. On a loser, it looked like. 59th minute, a cracker from Rui Costa, shot from 25 metres. Ireland needed a better result than Austria, who were playing in Northern Ireland, and it was looking very shaky indeed. Portugal promised it would be all-out attack, and probably one of the most entertaining games of the night. Helder, 2-0. Well, it was relentless. Jack Charlton's men must be wondering what hit them. Chiretti right at the death. 3-0. It looked desperate for Big Jack's men. Well, Northern Ireland were doing the Southern Irish a favour up against Austria. Remember that match, World Cup '82, Northern Ireland ousting the Austrians. Michael O'Neill in the 27th minute, giving the Ulstermen the lead. It was 2-0 from the penalty spot. It was Dowie. Dowie, the man brought down. Dowie, the man, standing up to shoot it home. 2-0. Well, the mood of optimism in Northern Ireland seems to be catching. Barry Hunter. That was 3. Well, in Portugal, Ireland must have been getting the results coming through. Austria starting the road back to recovery. Marcus Schopp in the 55th. Philip Gray steadying the nerves. That was 4-1. This match, unbelievable for a host of goals and pure entertainment. Miserable weather. The action, such a delight. Christian Stumpf. That was in the 70th minute. 8 minutes later, Michael O'Neill. 5-2. It just kept coming. And despite a late one from Arnold Vettel, it finished Northern Ireland 5, Austria 3. The Northern Irish just failing to go through to that qualifier on goal difference. I can tell you Northern Ireland finished on -4, Ireland +4. And the upshot of all of that is that it is Ireland who will go on to play off against Holland for the last remaining berth in England '96. Well, something of a festival mood, to say the very least, in Berlin. 75,841, the biggest crowd of the night, turning up to see Germany up against Bulgaria. Winner of this group was the winner of this match. Well, the tension not really as intense as in the other games, but I can tell you, when Hristo Stoichkov does his work, you better watch out. 4 minutes after the turnaround, the deadlock broken by the European Player of the Year. Well, defensive lapse. Klinsmann recovering to score. That was one apiece. And from this point on, the German machine was working perfectly. Well, at their best, they really are. A Mercedes limousine wallop. Hassler on 56, 2-1. Well, pop off the Bulgarian keeper. Watch this. Not very nice on Kuntz in the penalty area. No doubt about it. Clinzy. 3-1. So Germany going through top of this group, swapping places with Bulgaria. Doesn't matter though, they're both on their way. And this is how it finally finished. Albania drawing 1-apiece with Wales. Moldova beat Georgia 3-2. That match result had already sent Germany comfortably through, no matter even if they got thrashed by Bulgaria. But Germany finishing top of Group 7, they and Bulgaria going through. Well, Russia playing Finland. Russia in the white. Just 8,000 turning up in Moscow for this match. Russia already qualified. Everyone more than comfortable with it. Radchenko, 5 minutes before half-time, tidying up. Well, Russia perhaps eased up just a little too much, that is. Finland, of course, regard what they called the Great Bear as the ultimate opponents. Sumainen levelling the scores just before the turnaround. Kulkov, though, straight away after the orange juice and probably a touch of vodka. 10 minutes in, Russia leading 2-1. And the Finnish defence falling to pieces as Kyriakov seal the game. Russia 3, Finland 1. Well, we knew this beforehand. Russia and Scotland go through. Scotland beating San Marino 5-0 tonight. Greece beating the Faroe Islands by the same margin. Didn't do Greece any good at all. Russia and Scotland through to England 96. And so confirmation of those who have made it. Romania, France, Spain, Denmark, Switzerland, Turkey, Croatia, Italy, the
In Group 4, Italy were to finish with 2 home games in 5 days, the first against Ukraine here and then Lithuania. And they began the week 3 points behind the group leaders Croatia, but with this game in hand. Well, it's been a nervous campaign for Arrigo Sacchi's men, and the nerves really were jangling. After 19 minutes, Ukraine took a shock lead. Build up on the left from the winger Gennady Orbu, and Andrei Polunin celebrates the goal, but it might have taken a deflection on its way past the keeper. Peruzzi there stranded, and although it was the Ukrainian player Polunin who took the credit off Italian defender, and Ukraine with the early lead. However, Benarivo's mistake had led to Ukraine taking the lead. He atones for that by setting up Ravanelli for the equaliser just 2 minutes later. The number 2 getting well forward on the break, chests the ball down magnificently to come between 2 defenders, but surely the Ukraine defender should have cleared his lines there, and presents Ravanelli with a chance he simply could not miss. 1-1 it was at half-time. Ravanelli, 3 minutes after the restart, was to claim a second, but once again there's a wicked deflection which leaves Ravanelli the simple chance of running the ball home from right on the goal line. However, it's his 4th goal in 5 matches, and the Juventus star certainly won't be complaining about that. Great form from him, awareness to be in the right position at the right time, and Italy take the lead. Italy saved the best goal for last. Their 3rd and final one coming up on 54. Milan captain Maldini breaking forward into the box, lobs the last defender and smashes the ball past the exposed keeper. A superb goal, and Italy were home and dry. That brought them level with Croatia on 20 points at the top of the group. Might well have had more as well. So in Bari then, Italy more or less booking their path to the finals with that 3-1 win over the Ukraine. Moving forward then to Reggio Emilia and Italy's final game. Still in the blue shirts, of course, against the Lithuanians. And they would have clinched their place in next summer's finals in some style with an emphatic win here over Lithuania, who themselves were still entertaining some faint chance of making the finals at the beginning of the week. They were the only side who could have threatened Italy's second position. And Lithuania defending in depth and doing well to keep the score down in the first period. They were behind when Ramaunas Stonkus' deflection gave Italy an own goal. And then the second half was all about one man, Gianfranco Zola, on his way to a hat-trick. Well, the Parma man might have had some help with the first one, but clinical finishing there from the 6-yard line. Ravanelli was on only as a substitute in this game, losing his place in the starting lineup to Casiraghi. But Lithuania being swept aside as the Italians finished off their campaign with a rousing 4-0 win. And the Parma player rounding it off in inspired fashion with goals on 80 and 83. And that was perhaps the best of the 4 goals on the night. So Del Piero's shot deflected off Stonkus, getting them on their way on 51, and then Zola's hat-trick makes it 4-0 to Italy, the final score. And the last match in Group 4 was to see Croatia claim top spot with a narrow win in Slovenia. 2-1 means that Croatia qualify in first place in Group 4 and to be joined in England next summer by the Italians, who in the end were comfortably ahead of third place Lithuania, thanks to those 2 home wins in the final week of action.
Well, what a night it was. European qualification action aplenty, bidding for a place in England 96. France versus Israel. France hoping to bury the nightmare of that qualification, of course, for the USA 94, which they failed. Israel part of that failure. Well, last night, France, they needed a win to be sure, although other games, other results have made the result of this one academic. Nonetheless, when Djorkaeff got that wicked deflection off Shela to open the scoring after 68 minutes, the stadium was more than delighted, I can tell you that. Well, if that wasn't emphatic, this certainly was. Lizarazu, 1 minute from time, that was 2-0. France knew at this point they were most definitely on their way to England 96, 2-0. Well, Sweden up against Turkey in Group 3. Sweden already out. Turkey bidding for their first major tournament since 1954. Well, it was a bad start for the Turks. Alex Anderson after 25 minutes opening the scoring. Well, Turkey, they're nothing if not gritty, and secure it was late in the second half that leveled the scores. Well, English clubs know what it's like when they're up against Turkish clubs. Determination, to say the very least. And when they went down again, just a minute after they'd equalised to Pedersen, they dug deep into their reserves, Turkey. And I can tell you, they were to level the scores at 2 apiece. Switzerland already qualified from this Group 3. Of course, they played England last night at Wembley in a friendly. England winning that 3-1, steadying the English boat. But last night it was Sweden 2, Turkey 2, Turkey through. Well, Italy up against Lithuania. They needed a win to be sure and avoid going into the playoffs, and in this Group 4 match against Lithuania, it was a stunning performance by the Italians. We had to wait, though, till the second half. Del Piero opening the scores, and then Zola began his impressive hat-trick. He replaced Francesco Stituro, of course. And there's some magnificent work from his teammates. Not least a 30-metre pass from Albertini to Simoni. Inch perfect. He laid it off. Zola tidied up. That was 10 minutes from time. 3-0. And Zola polishing it off. His hat-trick, that is. Giving the keeper, Statucci, no chance whatsoever. Italy 4, Lithuania 0. Italy will be in the European Championships next year in England. Well, Group 5 proved to be enthralling, to say the least. Netherlands needed a win for a chance. No other result was going to do. Well, Clarence Seedorf opening the scoring as the defender tried to clear. Struck him on his torso, giving the goalkeeper no chance. Well, if that was lucky, the quality of the other goals was something to behold. Lovely stuff from Yuri Mulder, keeping his head in the 89th minute, and it still wasn't all over a minute later. Overmars just went for it. Look at this. The Hearts, the stuffing, knocked out of Norway. They were top of this group before last night. They are not going to the Championships. Netherlands, not certain just yet, but 49,000 people in Rotterdam think they're going to make it. Welcome back. Group 6, wide open. And in Portugal last night. In the green, Ireland up against Portugal. Stunning opener from the Portuguese after 59 minutes. As far as Big Jack's men were concerned, they knew they needed a better result than Austria, who were playing in Northern Ireland. And I can tell you, the Ulstermen did them all sorts of favours on the night, as Ireland faded in Lisbon under bombardment from the Portuguese. 2-0 via Helder. Things were looking bleak for Big Jack's men, but news was filtering through of just what Northern Ireland were doing against the Austrians. Well, we'll see that in a moment. This game tidied up by Cadete in the 90th. Portugal 3, Ireland 0. Portugal group winners and certain of a place in England 96. Well, Northern Ireland up against Austria. Well, they've finished this group in 3rd place, and I can tell you the results on the night in Belfast. 5-3 against Austria, a whole hatful of goals, beginning in the 27th minute with Michael O'Neill. The result basically means that the Irish, Big Jack's men, they're up against Holland. They'll play off for the last berth in England 96 at Anfield on December the 13th. Well, Dowie, the man brought down, and Dowie it was who stood up there to take the penalty. That was 2-0 to Northern Ireland. 3-0 via Barry Hunter. Well, the news was getting through to Lisbon, or at least to the touchline, but they were being helped once again by their friends from the north. And despite the fact that Austria started to claw their way back into the match in appalling weather conditions. Marcus Schopp in the 55th. That was 3-1. The Ulstermen kept their heads. Philip Gray put Northern Ireland further ahead. That was 4-1 in the 63rd. There was still goals to come, though. Austria weren't taking this lying down. They knew the home audience dissecting their performance. And there was a sense of urgency as Christian Stumpf scored that one. That was 4-2. But as Austria pushed, trying to get some sort of equaliser, left themselves wide open at the back. Michael O'Neill made it 5-2. Still room for more goals. The last one, though, going the way of the Austrians. Arnold Vettel Northern Ireland 5, Austria 3, the Northern Irish, booking Ireland a place in that playoff game. And so these are the teams who will go to Euro 96 in England: Romania, France, Spain, Denmark, Switzerland, Turkey, Croatia, Italy, the Czech Republic, Portugal, Bulgaria and Germany, Russia and Scotland. And that playoff at Anfield, December 13th, Ireland and the Netherlands.
I taki wynik w pełni ich satysfakcjonował. Holendrzy nie zrezygnowali jednak z walki o awans do finałów i udokumentowali to, strzelając Norwegom 3 gole. Po bramce Seedorfa tuż przed końcem meczu celnie strzelali Mulder i Overmans. Zwycięstwo to dało Holendrom prawo gry w barażu, którego stawką jest ostatnie wolne miejsce w finałach. I dopiero po godzinie gry. Wówczas to Rui Costa pokonał dobrze broniącego Alana Kelly'ego. Drugą bramkę strzelił Helder Kristowała, a wynik meczu ku radości 90 000 widzów ustalił na 3-0 w 90 minucie Jorge Cadete.
Uwagi skupiła rywalizacja drugich drużyn. Włosi, by uniknąć barażu, musieli wygrać 2 ostatnie mecze. Po sobotnim zwycięstwie nad Ukrainą sukces z Litwą przyszedł jeszcze łatwiej. Strzelano wprawdzie dopiero po przerwie, ale często. Zaczął Del Piero, choć po jego zagraniu lot piłki zmienił Stonkus. Potem nastąpiło 18 minut Gianfranco Zoli. Kapitan Parmy popisał się klasycznym hat-trickiem i Włosi po 8 latach znów w finałach Mistrzostw Europy. Broniący mistrzowskiego tytułu Duńczycy grali z Armenią i wbrew pozorom nie był to mecz bez znaczenia. W przypadku przegranej Danii groził baraż, ale w Kopenhadze sensacji nie było. Po bramkach Schöneberga i Becka już do przerwy było 2-0. Na gola Petrosjana w drugiej połowie dość szybko odpowiedział ten, który smak zwycięstwa w Mistrzostwach Europy zna tylko z opowiadań: Michael Laudrup. Choć to całkiem inna Dania niż ta 4 lata temu, w finałach Euro 96 trzeba będzie się z nią liczyć. Portugalii. Były zaprawione we wzajemnych bojach o dużą stawkę. Tak jak przed rokiem w Orlando cieszyli się tylko kibice pomarańczowych, a Patrickowi Kluivertowi postawią chyba pomnik za życia. 19-latek z Ajaxu w maju był bohaterem finału Pucharu Mistrzów. Teraz dzięki jego trafieniom Holandia pojedzie na Euro. Pierwszą bramkę Kluivert strzelił w 29 minucie, drugą tuż przed końcem meczu. Starania ambitnych Irlandczyków ograniczały się głównie do wrzutek na pole karne i Van den Sar rzadko był w opałach. Jak na ironię, gole nastolatka mogą zakończyć pewien rozdział w życiu 60-letniego pana. Jack Charlton po przegranej miał po 9 latach rozstać się z reprezentacją Irlandii, ale Zielona Wyspa wciąż kocha słynnego żyrafę.